Welcome to Covenant Kids. We're so glad that you have joined us today. Did you know that God loves you so much? He promises that He will always be with us, no matter what is going on in our lives. We serve such an amazing God. Let's stand up and worship Him together.
My heart, and you know everything about me. You go before me in all my adventures and guide every step of my feet. I will not fear, I will not be shaken. You hold everything. No, I will not fear, I will not be shaken. You hold everything. My heart, and you know everything about me. You go before me in all my adventures and guide every step of my feet. I will not fear, I will not be shaken. You hold everything. No, I will not fear, I will not be shaken. You hold everything. Treasured by the one who loves me. I am treasured, treasured, treasured by the one who loves me. I am treasured, treasured, treasured by the one who loves me. I am treasured, treasured, treasured by the one who loves me. Hey. I can count on all of the promises. Hey, I can count on all of the promises my God promised me. He will never let go, and He will never forsake me. He knows everything that I need for this day. He knows every thought, and He knows me by my name.
diving, I'm diving, I'm diving deep, I'm diving, I'm diving, I'm diving, I'm diving deep, I'm diving, I'm diving, I'm diving, I'm diving deep. If you were face to face with a hungry lion, what would you use to protect yourself? A baseball bat, maybe? What about a paintball gun? How about your ninja skills? Well, today, in God's Big Story, we'll see how God protected a man in an amazing way by shutting the mouths of some really hungry lions. Let's watch.
Do you have any kings?
Oh, man.
Oh, and that's my last card. I won that round.
How about we play a new game? Grandpa, can you grab that can over there?
What?
I've been waiting to get you with that.
Oh, I am so glad we get to have fun together. You know, this trick reminds me of another story.
Cool. Do some friends play a trick on each other?
Oh, no. The guys in this story didn't try to prank someone. They tried to kill him.
Oh, man, this is getting serious. What happened?
Years before God worked through Esther to save his people, God's people hadn't been obeying him, so they were defeated by the Babylonians, and many of their best and smartest young men were taken to serve King Nebuchadnezzar in Babylon. One of those men was a faithful follower of God named Daniel. Daniel loved and honored God. Daniel served King Nebuchadnezzar and the next king as well, King Darius. Everything Daniel did seemed to be successful. King Darius liked Daniel so much that he wanted to put Daniel in charge of his entire kingdom.
I like this Daniel guy.
Me too. However, not everyone liked Daniel. Some of the king's other advisors were extremely jealous of Daniel. They wanted to be put in charge of the kingdom, so they set up an evil plan to get Daniel in big trouble. The jealous leaders knew that Daniel believed in God and that he would only pray to him, so they set a trap. Those leaders went to King Darius and suggested that the king command his people not to pray to any god or human except him.
What did the king do?
He decided to make their suggestion into a law.
What was the penalty for breaking that law?
Being thrown into the pit with the king's lions. Daniel heard about the king's law, but he still chose to do what he always did. 3 times a day, Daniel went up to his upstairs room, opened a window toward his hometown, Jerusalem, and prayed to God.
Did Daniel get caught?
Yes, those jealous leaders were waiting. They happily ran to King Darius to report that Daniel had broken the new law. They demanded that Daniel be thrown into the lion's den.
But the king liked Daniel. He wouldn't let Daniel be killed, right?
King Darius was very upset because he liked Daniel very much. He spent the whole day trying to think of a way to get Daniel out of trouble. But once the king made a law, it could not be undone. Daniel had to be thrown into the lion's den.
No.
The king ordered Daniel to be brought out. He said, "You always serve your God faithfully, so may he save you." Then Daniel was thrown into the lion's den. A giant stone was placed in front of the den to seal it up. Not one person on the whole planet could stop what was happening to Daniel now. Not even King Darius. The den wouldn't be opened until the next morning. The king was so upset that he didn't eat or even sleep throughout the entire night. Finally, morning came. King Darius ran to the lion's den to check on Daniel. The stone was rolled away, and Darius yelled into the den, "Daniel, you faithfully served the living God. Was he able to save you from the lions?"
Was Daniel alive?
Yes. Daniel said, "My God sent an angel, and his angel shut the mouths of the lions." Daniel had not done anything wrong in God's sight, and he had not done anything wrong to the king. King Darius was filled with joy and agreed that Daniel hadn't done anything wrong to him. The king had Daniel lifted out of the lion's den, and everyone saw that Daniel was completely unharmed. King Darius wrote a new law that everyone in his kingdom must respect and honor the God of Daniel.
God shows power and protection to Daniel. That's the God I want to follow.
Me too. Throughout his life, Daniel followed God faithfully. He experienced that God can protect us in amazing ways.
Daniel was a follower of God who lived in a land called Babylon. King Darius ruled Babylon. Daniel was honest and did a great job with everything that the king gave him to do. But some other leaders in the kingdom were jealous of Daniel, so they set up a plan to get Daniel in trouble. They knew Daniel loved God, and they wanted to use that to get him into trouble. These men told the king that he should tell all the people not to pray to any god or person except for the king. Anyone who prayed to anyone else would be thrown into a lion's den. King Darius said okay, so that became the new law in the land. Daniel heard about the king's new law. Despite the danger, Daniel chose to do what he had always done. 3 times a day, he went to his home in the upstairs room and he prayed to God. It wasn't long before the men who were jealous of Daniel saw him praying. Immediately, they ran to King Darius to report that Daniel had broken the law. Upon hearing the news, the king was so upset. He didn't want Daniel to be harmed, so he spent the whole day trying to think of a way to get Daniel out of trouble. But the law had been written, and even the king couldn't save Daniel. The king ordered that Daniel be brought to him, and he said to Daniel, "You always serve your God faithfully, so may he save you." Then Daniel was thrown into the lion's den. The den was sealed shut with a giant stone. Not a single person could stop what happened to Daniel now, not even the king. Distressed, the king went back to his palace. He worried all night long. He didn't eat or sleep the entire night. And as soon as the sun began to rise, King Darius ran to the lion's den to check on Daniel. "Daniel," the king called out, "you serve the living God faithfully. So has he been able to save you from the lions?" And immediately Daniel replied, "My God sent his angel, and his angel shut the mouth of the lion." God protected Daniel. The lions hadn't hurt him at all. Daniel explained that he hadn't done anything wrong in God's sight, and he hadn't done anything wrong to the king. The king was filled with joy and agreed that Daniel hadn't done anything wrong, so he had Daniel lifted out of the lion's den, and everyone saw that Daniel was completely unharmed. Then King Darius wrote a new law. The new law said everyone must respect and honor God. Throughout his life, Daniel followed God faithfully and experienced the truth that God can protect us in amazing ways. What God did for Daniel was amazing. Daniel remained faithful even when the situation got hard. Now, we might not face a den full of lions like Daniel, but we will face hard things. And no matter what we face, God promises He will be with us. He can protect us in amazing ways. Even when we get hurt or feel sad, God loves us and is with us.
Hey kids, it's time for our word of wonder. Our word of wonder is from Hebrews 13:5. part B, which means it's the second half of the verse. And it goes like this. God has said, I will never leave you. I will never desert you. Okay, this time you say it after me. Ready? God has said, I will never leave you. I will never desert you. Hebrews 13:5. Good job.
All right, Covenant kids. God knows you, God loves you, and God leads you. Now go change your world.